I guess there's no Gaia song equivalent to Staying Alive. Yeah, if you're not worried that you're not cracking ribs, then you're not doing it hard enough. Or if you're not worried that you are cracking ribs, then you're not doing hard enough. Sorry, double negatives. Difficult sometimes. Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, and we are back with another episode of Escaflowne, or The Visions of Escaflowne. We don't have any comments. We have a board, though. Sorry, I'm just going down the list of things that we normally do, when a board is one of them. And along with the board is the board's changelog, which is to say I added Cheed, or Prince Cheed, Vorus, and the Doppelganger. I also marked Miguel as dead. Something I've noticed I've stopped doing is I've stopped listing all of the lines that I've added. If you are somebody who likes the Visions of Escaflowne and actively watching this reaction, because if you weren't, I'd be wondering why you're leaving comments on random videos, and have seen the previous process of listing the board changelog with all the lines and everything, let me know if you prefer that. I'll go back to adding a note for every line between characters, if that's the preferred thing. Otherwise, I also have notes. Our new card from last episode, La Ambizion, which I believe means ambition. No other note there. Now I'm just noting the cards as they appear. I think I mentioned before that if you were to take the cards from the beginning of the episodes and put them into the pattern that she's reading the tarots from, you probably could infer something from that. But the most I could do would be to show you that I guess I could do that. If I remember, I will do that. If I don't remember, remind me. But my point being, I don't do tarot, I don't know tarot. So the most I could do is replicate that process. I could not tell you what it means. I guess I could, if we are living in the age of AI, I guess I could tell a AI what this means and tell me to do I don't know. I could try something. Remind me if I forget. It's kind of funny how the stories of all these characters all sort of serve to diminish the legacy of Balgus, their teacher, and what seems to have been the actual greatest swordsman. Sorry, I meant to put more emphasis on that. He was their teacher, and what seems to be the actual greatest swordsman. Up to his death, of course. I know that it's just a matter of perspective and investment. Sheed was told things from someone that was in love with Alan, so Alan became a legendary figure in those stories. I'm sure Alan himself would say that Balgus was better. What are the chances that Prince Cheed is actually Alan's kid? I was going to point out the fact that they both have blonde hair, but I think his mother was already blonde, making it likely an inherited trait regardless of Alan. Obviously, there is what Hitomi says at the end of the episode, but also Alan's words of believing in someone with all of your heart. I think, obviously, the subtext is that he believes in his son, even if his son is doubting him. I wonder what the implication behind the doppelganger's smell is, beyond possibly being a way to identify them when in disguise or hidden anyway. The way Delandu says it, it feels more like a social status thing, that he's commenting on the smell as though that's how far beneath him the doppelganger is. I have to think that the only reason Hitomi could possibly share her vision training with Vaughn is the possibility that they are both of Atlantean descent. The only reason I think that for Hitomi is the prospect that her family line might come from here. and that she's surrounded by angels in the opening of the show. Past that, if it wasn't what I'm guessing, then it would imply that everyone could learn this. So I made an unfortunate pause while taking my notes. I've suspected that this was the case, but I legit didn't want to know. Well, when Merle is running off to hide in the bushes, I paused on a scene where her dress just flies up and she's not wearing anything underneath it. A detail I didn't need, but felt that I had to mention. Malerna is taken aback by Hitomi's reading of Miguel with her cards, saying the cards predicted what would happen. But not really. I mean, it's all as interpretational as an actual tarot reading. All Hitomi said was strife and danger. Then what Zybok was up to as a whole, and then pulled a blank card. Alan came up with what the blank card meant, but didn't say it out loud, thus making any interpretation of it fit. Hitomi legit does see the future sometimes, but this was the least of all of that. Sorry, I didn't mention it, but that was actually my last thought. So I guess without anything else to talk about here, there is the element that the doppelganger is still on the loose, that they are restraining Vaughn in the in the Escaflowne, so I guess technically he could fight to escape if he wanted to, but that might raise more of a problem than not. And that's essentially like exactly where we left everything off. I guess that technically also Alan and gang have been arrested. And sorry, I'm also now realizing also Zybok is technically on its way to invade. Even though Delamdu and gang are nearby, the rest of Zybok's forces with its 3 generals, or 4 generals, are on its way to invade. So, very precarious situation. So that's what we're going into, and I say let's go ahead and hop on in and see what's coming.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
There are elements of the opening that I'm essentially have been using all this time as clues as to what I think might be going on. And, I mean, granted, obviously I do that with every fucking show. But what I mean to say is that questions that I don't have, obviously I don't read anything into, like, what does this mean? What does portend for the show? But then when things happen in the show, like how does Hitomi teach anybody how to see invisible things, or where does her power of not predetermination, where does her power to see the future come from? I have to think it comes from that element of the very thing I was talking about, like in episode 1 or 2, where what did I say? I think like her grandmother must come from this world. There is another show that came out, like, I want to say Moonlight Fantasy, maybe? Where every other generation of a family goes back and forth between the fantasy world and our world. I feel like it's that kind of conceit. Granted, I don't know, because we don't know the history of her mother or her grandmother. But it feels like that could be going on. Same thing as the werewolves. Our werewolves are the furry people from there. Or what? You'll lock us up? Except, of course, that's the doppelganger. Il Diavolo. Let's see, death or the devil? I'm guessing the devil. Well, wouldn't that be El Diablo? No, that's probably Spanish. I guess it's kind of ironic considering she sees the future, how much shit she doesn't see coming.
シド王子王子の本当の気持ちを聞かせて。私たちが反逆者に見える？あなたたちに嘘をついてるように見える？
私には分かりません。でもプラクトゥの法術は真実を言い当てるのです。
Unfortunately, he's a liar by virtue of being a doppelganger with mind control.
プラクトゥが進言するとき、王家の者はそれに従うのがこの国の習わし。それが国のため、民のために良い。
Also, hasn't nobody found his dead body yet? Did he like throw him out of the moving thing?
バーンもあなたも。
よろしいかな。尋問の国言です。
なぜ瞳から取り調べる？あいつは何も関係ない。
誰から始めたところでそなたたちに非がなければ案ずることはないはず。
If you're thinking every one of them is a rebel, how do you not think the princess is not also a rebel? She's with them.
あなたたちは自分の置かれた状況を分かっていらっしゃるのか？
何のことだ？
先ほどアストリア王国から使者が来た。あなた方の首とエスカフローネに賞金がかけられたと告げにな。
Well, that's actually a bit different.
アレンは偽りを言う男ではありません。私たちを信じて。
Because that's outside of Miguel's lie.
プラクトゥの尋問が終われば全ては明らかになりましょう。
地球、それがお前の国の中。
はい。
その国はいずこ
I mean, technically, it's not the name of any country.
幻の月。
幻の月。お前は幻の月から来たというのか。
Wouldn't that make you a demon, according to them?
呪われた力。
本当ですか？
お前たちはザイバッハの浮遊要塞に奇襲攻撃を仕掛け、さらにエナジストの鉱山を壊滅に追い込んだそうだが、それは誠か？
Technically, yes.
どうした？答えよ。どうなのだ？
はい。
アストリアが伝えに来たこやつらの罪状と一致します。
Is Prince Sheed going to interrupt to ask his own questions?
それはアストリアを乗っ取るためです。捕虜の証言にありますぞ。
I mean, yeah, you could ask them.
お前たちはどのようにして浮遊要塞や鉱山の場所を探り当てたのだ？
ダウジング。ペンダントで。
ダウジング。
心で見る。見えないものを。
あの不思議な力だ。
見えないガイメルフもその力で見たと。
はい。
娘よ、首飾りをこちらへ。
At what point do you ask why the priest is asking questions that have nothing to do with the things that you want to know? Oh, I thought it was about to expose him as a doppelganger.
なんだここは。貴様、何をした？
それがあなたの本当の姿。
術が解けた。
Never mind, it did.
お前がやったのか？
どうなってるの？
We're battling in Mindscape.
わかります。
女、ここから出せ。
But it very much seems like she's still under mental control, so she's not the one directing this. It doesn't feel like.
バカな。なぜあの時の光景が？
あな たは人殺し。あなたはまやかし人。いくつもの顔を持つが己の顔は持てず。
戦の中で生き、戦の中で死ぬ。それが
But who's directing this assault on the doppelganger? That would be a fucking mistake, wouldn't it? To accidentally be on two different sides of the war as doppelgangers.
忍びとして生まれ戦いの中でしか生きられぬ貴様の定めをゾンギよ我と共に来い
Alright. Songi is the doppelganger's name.
運命の輪を解き放つのだ
オルケン様
I mean, that didn't pan out, though. He brought you on board to be a killer.
娘ここまで知られては生かしておけぬこれは
あなたの命の火は間もなく消えます。
なんだと
Did Homie just go like into a fucking trance and become a killer?
離せ俺が死ぬというのか
Or does the pendant have like a self-defense spell on it?
Hitomi! なんと恐ろしい娘だ。どうなされたブラックトゥー殿。いや少し疲れた。
瞳孔が開いてる。おば上どうなんです？心臓が止まってる。
There's no chance in hell they're killing Hitomi this many episodes in.
今の悲鳴は何だ俺が死んだんだお前たちの仲間が死んだんだよ王子頼むここから出してくれ早くお願いだ王子スト
Is that like a tar pick? What are you threatening him with?
ここを開けてもらおう
しっかりしてしっかりしてしっかりして瞳
Surprising that this world knows CPR.
貴様らこんなことをしてただでは済まんぞ
道を開けてもらおうかボリス殿
You know, on one hand, fuck you guys. We came here in peace and you locked us up. And then possibly killed the main character of the show.
ダメ動かない
これでいいのか
ええあなたの鼓動に合わせて
鼓動に
I guess there's no Gaia song equivalent to Staying Alive.
そうもっと強く強く死んだ
Yeah, if you're not worried that you're not cracking ribs, then you're not doing it hard enough. Or if you're not worried that you are cracking ribs, then you're not doing hard enough. Sorry, double negatives. Difficult sometimes.
瞳
死なないで瞳目を覚まして
目を覚ませ
I mean, her eyesight's coming back.
大丈夫。
It's a fucking weird ass self-defense measure that it fucking almost kills you.
奇跡だ。
メル、
私の爪研ぎ。
別目立て。
あれ、
瞳、どうした？
偽物。あの人死ぬ。
瞳、
偽物。あの人。
I know you just almost fucking died and everything, but we could really use some more information than what you're giving us.
俺が死ぬなどと。
I mean, really does fucking think like she done something to your mind.
フォルケン様にお伝えせねば。
You think maybe Falcon will kill him for what he did, or Delando will kill him for what he did to Miguel?
見たの私。あの人が本物のプラクトゥを殺して姿を変えて捕虜も殺されたの。でもあの人も黒い手に。
プラクトゥはどこに？
それがどこにも。
逃げたんだ。指導王子、早く奴を追わなくては。ぐずぐずしてたら瞳の秘密が財閥派に渡ってしまう。
黙れ王子、こやつらの誰ごとに耳を貸してはなりま
Again,
せん。
the element that Astoria sent their own messenger here, implying that Alan is a criminal, is what makes it, you know, double down. They're doubling down on the message, essentially.
シド。
王子、人を信じるということは時に戦に臨むより勇気のいることかもしれません。
There is an element of what makes sense and what doesn't make sense.
あなたの手で財閥派の忍びを探し出してい
I
ただきたい。
understand the familial loyalty that's going on
これ
here.
示されたか。
己の身の証は己で立てる。彼らにもフレード公国の法に従ってもらうのです。責任は私が取ります。
御意。
王子、彼の傷はまだ癒えていません。私が代わりに行きましょう。
私も一緒に行きます。
Here's the thing, though. Not too many of you can say I'll go, because when you all say I'll go, that means you're all
あの人が
escaping.
どんな人でもあんなビジョンを与えちゃいけない。
わかるか、瞳。
塔があるわ。
よし。
Also, her power is getting, like, a lot stronger in this. You remember, like, the first time she did this with Alan, and she's, like, there for an hour over a map?
などということは。
私は信じます。アレンがバーンを信じる思いを。
幻の月の女だって？
はい。見えないものを見、過去や未来を知る力を持つ恐ろしい女にございます。
見えないものを見、未来を知る。そうか。
Man, that scar got, like, a lot worse over time.
あの時。あの時。あの時も。あの女。あいつがこの傷を。よくやったゾンビ。
ありがたきお言葉。
I'm not surprised. I thought Delandu might have actually killed him.
褒美だ。受け取れ。
何なさ。
Well, never mind. Exactly as I called it.
僕の部下にひどいことをするじゃないか。だからまやかし人は嫌いさ。
これは。
I mean, Look, my guy, as I've been drawn, is Delandu. Dude killed one of my guys. I'm actually happy that Delandu apparently has some sort of loyalty to his own dragon slayers. Am I supposed to feel bad for this jackass? He strangled Miguel to death.
なんてついてるんだ。
シスター、ガーティー。瞳、しっかりしろ。
I finally got the other two guys' names. Or rather, one of them. I don't think I've ever had Shista's name before. You know, look, I know Zybok are the bad guys, but the fact that my character is part of the bad guys kind of makes me like, I wish they wouldn't like ruin our whole stealth technology thing.
そら降りてこいよ。
集中して心に強く。
Also, how the hell are you dodging with your eyes closed when you can't even visualize them yet? Oh, wait, is that the connective tissue? That Hitomi can do it because her pendant is Energist? I almost forgot that the doppelganger just told him all of that. I was like, how the hell does he know she's from the Mystic Moon? None enough liquid left? Because it very much seems like these Gaia Melts are basically run on some sort of silver liquid.
もはやあのプラクトゥがザイバッハの忍びだという証拠はなくなってしまいました。
いいえ、あなた方の身の証は立てられました。
遺体が見つかったの。本物のプラクトゥの。
修行僧が森で見つけ申した。
Okay, so they did just throw him out.
遺体はまやかし人の仕業。
証拠などなくても私は信じます。こうして戻ってきてくれたから。やったー。
数々のご無礼、お許し願いたい。
あなたがシドに決意させたのよ。
I'll be honest, I can't like blame them for doing anything wrong. They took the information that they had and they acted upon it in a way that seemed reasonable.
で兄弟みたい。
Or, you know, father and son.
おお、皆さん、王がご帰還されました。
父上が？
Alright, now we get to see if this guy has any resemblance to Prince Sheet at all.
シドのお父さん。どんな人なんだろう。
Doesn't it look a lot like him? Look, the show keeps referencing it, so I think I'm somewhat vindicated here. I just would suspect that the Duke would not have that friendly of a relationship with Alan, given what seems to be the case, unless they are of a... I don't know if this is going to play well. of a Worf-Riker relationship, which is to say both of those men were in love with Deanna Troi, right? And even though one eventually wins her over and the other moves on, they both have a respect for the other that transcends their love-loss relationship. That maybe even though his wife had Alan's kid, he still respects the man for willing to put his life in the line to save her or something. I don't know. I think I'm now just extrapolating things that the show hasn't actually given us any information on. So, throwing shit at the wall, that's what I think.
Escaflowne.
指導時私占ってあげる禁断の
Oh. Is it going to be another Akumi from Infinite Rivas? Sorry, you say Forbidden Love. I did not realize that those two people were supposed to be related. That does put the whole thing into a different perspective, what I have been proposing. I don't think they were supposed to be related. Forbidden Love, because it's adultery. That's probably what's going on. But yeah, no, I even just referenced it a little bit earlier. The invasion of Freed by Zybok. Apparently that happens next episode. I anticipate that would mean that next episode is going to be a big action set piece rather than individual set pieces or character. Well, it does seem like it's going to be character driven drama as well. What with the tarot reading and the implication towards Alan and what's her name? Sorry, I can't remember her name off the top of my head. Yeah, I guess they kind of spoil that all the next time on. Because literally we just saw them together. What looks to be like a younger version of Alan anyway. Yeah, I don't really have much to say here. Everything really made sense, and that's what I appreciate most by any episode that we watch. When my complaints or my nitpicks or my criticisms don't come down to, well, I don't understand why this happened, or I don't know why they're doing this. In that respect, this nearly perfect. Maybe some minor things like why did they restrain Alan, the injured guy, and then let Vaughn and Hitomi and everybody just like sit off in the corner of the room and have their own conversation. Otherwise, I understand why everybody was restrained, or locked up, and everything made sense. Even the aspect, like, they've cleared everybody of what Miguel said, but then Astoria sent their own messenger, they said. So, how are they cleared from that aspect? If not, I guess, from Malerna giving her word in lieu of whatever a messenger might say? I guess that's the only real way there. But yeah, no, that's all I really got from this episode. At least until I come back next time with notes, as you guys know I always do. So, until then, once again, I have been Theta, this has been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?